Yeah, let's go, Bourbon Quest. It's your host, Bourbon Steve. So, what do we got tonight? A little Booker's. Haha, hell yeah. What's better on Thanksgiving weekend than Booker's? Not much, I tell you that. So, yeah. When did I picked this up on Black Friday. Yeah, and everybody was in line for Goose Island, which I admit 2 years ago I was in line at this liquor store, and I'll be honest with you, I didn't know what the hell Goose Island was, and I just followed the herd and thought, well shit, everybody's in line for this. Must have been 300 people in line 2 years ago, and so I bought like 2 or 3 of them. I just ain't paying $30-$40 for a bottle of beer, especially when it's not even anything that I like. I think that shit's crazy, but they were in line again today, or Black Friday when I picked this up. I didn't care about it. I wasn't getting in line for that. I mean, I got there like 10 minutes before opening, and there were some other drops around town, but it was all just stuff I already got plenty of, whether it be Blanton's or Weller or Eagle Rare. I mean, most everything I saw, there was nothing special on what people were dropping around town for Black Friday. I mean, granted, allocated stuff, but yeah, I ain't standing in line for Weller Special Reserve or whatever else there was out there. But I have been wanting to, you know, I'm a big Booker's fan. I heard a lot of great things on this latest batch, the Kentucky Tea. So we're gonna find out. And so I did get there like 10 minutes before opening. I wasn't gonna get there, you know, an hour before or whatever. There's probably like 100 people in line. Granted, most of them were in line for the Goose Island stuff, but I let them just go on by that. I guess I timed it out perfect because they must have had. I know when they opened, they had probably 15 or 18, I forget, bottles of Booker's, and I got the last one that was on the shelf, so timed that one out right. Because I mean, earlier this week or last week, I was wanting the Kentucky Tea. I was trying to support a liquor store nearby me. I'm not gonna mention their name. They're new, like maybe 6 months old, and like within the first month they were open, I talked to the guy. He seemed super cool. You know, told him who I was. That I'd like to get some allocated stuff, but I'm not gonna pay exorbitant prices. You know, I don't, like I've told you before, I don't mind paying a 20, maybe even a 30% premium for something that's highly allocated, which I don't think Booker's really falls into that category. Is it allocated? Yes. Is it highly allocated? No. Ever since I started my search, I've gotten every single batch. Like when I first started, like I really started my Bourbon Quest in 2020, and I was able to get a Beaten Biscuits, I think, from 2019, but I was not able to get the Country Ham, because I started late in the game, if you will. But ever since then, I've gotten every single one. You know, so hey, that's enough random. Let's get to the Kentucky Tea. So here we go. It is Booker's. Oh yeah, little Booker Noel on the back in his rocking chair. So it is not only it is a unboxing as we do that, and then we pop the bad boy out. So this Kentucky Tea batch is it's 126.5 proof, and I think the last two, anyways, let's just talk about this one first. This is aged 7 years, 4 months, and 14 days. And I think that's been the trend. So we've got, and granted, I got this on Black Friday, so I doubt I'm getting Pinky's batch before the end of the year. Just like last year, I didn't get the last round of Booker's. I may have gotten it like December 30th or 31st or right after January, but looks like that's probably going to be the case this year too. So no, so this year's batches up to this point was 2201 was Ronnie's batch. Yeah, it was 6 years, 11 months, and 22 days. So just under 7 years. And then, yeah, that's what I was thinking. They're trending up because this, not only do we have the Kentucky Tea batch at over 7 years, but then the 2022-02 Lumberyard batch was 7 years, 1 month, and 7 days old. So, yeah, so, I mean, just under, I mean, literally 8 days, or 9 or 10 days away from being 7 years old on the 01. A little over a month, over 7 years on Lumberyard batch, which was really good. And then now Kentucky Tea at 7 years, 4 months, and 14 days. So I like that because I think obviously since I started my bourbon quest, they've all been 6 and change, and now they're pushing up to and beyond 7 years. So I don't know if that's going to be a trend that continues. We'll see. But hey, let's go ahead and read a little story. I do like the little card that comes with the Booker's. So the third release of Booker's Bourbon 2022 collection is Booker's Batch 2022-03 Kentucky Tea Batch. While some may flavor their water with tea leaves, my dad, Booker No, loved to flavor his water with bourbon, something he called Kentucky tea. As you can imagine, Dad loved the flavor of bourbon, especially his Booker's bourbon. Since Booker's is over 100 proof, the flavor still pulls through when added to water. So he'd take 1 part bourbon and 4 parts water and enjoy his drink. One night when a reporter was at Dad's house for supper, he asked why Dad drank Kentucky tea. Dad quickly replied, "Why would I flavor my water with tea leaves when I can flavor my water with bourbon?" It was that simple. Kentucky tea was Dad's drink. He would drink it with a country ham or fish dinner and would say, "You need to sip the right proportion of Kentucky tea to really appreciate the food." As you sip this batch, add a taste of it to your water so you can try Dad's Kentucky tea with Kentucky Tea Batch. I know that's how he would like it. Cheers. I don't know if I want to add it to my water. Maybe I will. Hey, it's Booker, so I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. So, all right, let's go to an uncorking. Oh, hell yeah, America. I thought that wax was going to pop off for, that was a premature popping. Alright, so, yeah. Alright, let's pour this Kentucky tea into the glass. And then get right to it. The nose is great on this. Man, it's funny because you definitely get that proof, and then I don't know if it's, I mean, maybe it's just my mind playing tricks on me, but I do get a tea flavor coming off of that. Like, I do get tea leaves and spice and cinnamon. The nose is fantastic on this. No kidding. I do get like tea leaves and cinnamon, caramel, vanilla. The nose is spectacular on this. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. Yeah, I don't know if it's just my mind or whatever, but I get those tea leaves on the palate too, with cinnamon, caramel, vanilla, slight bit of nuttiness. Cheers. Yeah, the right amount of proof. I do get that cinnamon, that spice, tea leaves, touch of brown sugar, caramel, vanilla. Stay hydrated, my friends. It's really, really good. Um, Man, I'm trying to think back, like, because I didn't have country ham. My favorite for 2019, I'm pretty sure, was beaten biscuits. And then 2020, one of them was pigskin batch, but I can't remember if that was 2020 or 2021. Might have been, I think it was 2020, and then tag along for 2021. But I also thought Lumberyard was really good. Let's pour Lumberyard. Oh, well, it might help if you take the damn cork off, dummy. So, there's Lumberyard. We'll pour some more Kentucky tea. That's really good. The Lumberyard was really good too, so. And then the Ronnie's Batch. Sorry, Ronnie. I don't think you're a winner. I mean, I do think you're a winner, Ronnie. You know who I'm talking about. But the Ronnie's Batch, not so. Oh, so we got that. We got that. We need to do our infinity pour for Kentucky Tea Batch. Oh yeah. Well, that's gonna be perfect. All right. So we had the Kentucky tea. Now let's move on to the Lumberyard. The Lumberyard is, man, yeah, more proof on the tea, more tea leaves and cinnamon. Although you get a lot of cinnamon on this too. Cinnamon, but also some more like nutmeg and clove. All right, cheers, Bourbon Quest. Man, yeah, that cinnamon and spice and clove come through on that. Man, those are both really good. All right, let's compare these side by side. Kentucky tea and the Lumberyard. I think I like the nose better on the Kentucky tea. Yeah, there's more spice, more cinnamon. I mean, vanilla, caramel, a little bit of toffee. I don't know. This Kentucky tea's gotten a lot of great reviews, but I think so did the Lumberyard. But I think the Kentucky tea maybe a little bit more so. Man, that's hard to pick. Those are really hard to pick. All right, we're going to have to go back to those two. I really don't know which is better. And that's okay. Maybe they're just both great. Oh, I'm going to save that water for the Kentucky tea. Let's go to Ronnie's Batch. Yeah. I mean, the nose is still good on this. I just don't think it's up to either one of the other batches. Cheers, Bourbon Quest. that's also very damn good. Not quite as much viscosity or mouthfeel. A little bit lighter on the palate. I think I undersold it because it's still actually really good. I don't think it's as good, quite as good as the other two. It's better at Granny's, I think. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, not as good. I got on the second sip. I got a little bit more sourness on that, but what'll be interesting, which I will do. Granted, I don't anticipate getting Pinky's batch before the end of the year. Maybe I will, but I really doubt it. Which is unfortunate because I would like to do all four of them blind. But if we're unable to get Pinky's batch before December 28th, I ain't waiting. I mean, if it's after December 28th, I ain't got time for that shit. But if not, we'll bring these back out and do them blind either probably right after Christmas, just because we'll be doing the Advent calendar along with Q getting his cat. What the fuck? Oh, that way we'll be doing our whiskey Advent calendar along with Q getting his cat treat calendar, and so right after Christmas, maybe the day after Christmas, maybe the day of Christmas. I don't fucking know. Maybe the day of Christmas, since I'll have that day off. And then, because right after Christmas, we start doing flights for. Hey, Q, you want to come here? Hey, buddy, come here. Q, come here. Come here, buddy. Q is really, I mean, it's amazing how he's transformed over the last month, to hiding out, to coming out, to purring. You want to be on the channel? Q, come here. You want to be on the channel? Yeah, maybe not. Alright, I want to get back to these. I got distracted by Q. So, these are Q. Come here, buddy. I'll give you some whiskey. You probably don't want whiskey. You want to come up? Come here. Q. Hey, Q. Come here. Come here. He's looking like he wants to jump up here. Q. Come here. Come here, buddy. Q. I ain't got all damn day, bro. I'm trying to shoot a video. But I was going to give you some camera time if you want to come up. Come up. Come here. I got you. Let's say hi, Q. It's Q. Hey, you got to get ready. Because December 1st, you're getting a cat treat and I get a whiskey treat for 25 straight days in December, bro. That's a true story. I love you, Q. I really do. Alright, I gotta get back to the whiskey, Q. So, this is Kentucky tea. I do get tea leaves on this. This is more robust, more cinnamon, more caramel. Alright, cheers. Kentucky tea. Man, that is so good. That is really good. Yeah, I paid $95 for it. Well worth it. Lumberyard. also extremely good. Like they're both. Before I forget, I'm gonna put the cork back in here. Both the Lumberyard and the Kentucky Tea are a strong thumbs up. I think Ronnie's batch is. I think it's still a thumbs up. It's not as strong as these two. I don't think I can really differentiate which is better right now between the Lumberyard and Kentucky Tea. I think that's going to have to be done blind, where there's no bias coming in, because my bias wants to say Kentucky Tea is better, and that's primarily based on other Whiskey 2 channels that I watch that have given it acclaimed reviews, which I agree with. But I don't want to undersell the Lumberyard batch, because to me it's equally as good. It's going to have to come down to doing it on blind to. I definitely think the nose is better on the Kentucky Tea. And that might be what it comes down to, because on the palate, that's so good. That's, oh. I mean, actually on that sip, it's close. It really is close. I do think on that last sip that I tend to like the Kentucky Tea a slight bit better. And then when you factor in the nose, I definitely think the nose is better on Kentucky Tea. So without doing it on blind, I'm gonna lean slightly towards Kentucky Tea. But and one of these three, well, it's not gonna be Ronnie's, unless I get freaking shocked. Hey Q, where you going, buddy? Yeah. So, yeah, because it's not gonna be Ronnie's. If it is Ronnie's, then stop watching my channel. Although Ronnie's is good, I still think it's a pickup for under $100. Yeah, it's still good, bro. But it's not Kentucky Tea or Lumberyard. And I hope to be able to get Pinky's batch before the end of the year, but I'm thinking that's highly doubtful. But if it is, we'll do all 4 blind. If not, we'll do these 3 blind to see, without knowing what is what, which is which. But yeah, this Lumberyard's good, bro. Alright, so this thing said to, there's not even enough in there. It said to add the Kentucky Tea to water. The only reason I'm doing this is because I'm following Booker's advice on the card. A little bit. Yeah, that's a waste. Does it taste a lot like tea when you add it to water? Yes. But I ain't spending $100 for tea. I'm spending $100 for Booker. So I mean, I only did this because Booker recommended it. I mean, yeah, it's good. It does taste like sweet tea, but I would just rather have my damn bourbon straight. You know what I'm saying, bro? All right, we gotta wrap this up because Q. I didn't mean to distract you while you were taking a shit. All right, we gotta wrap this thing up. Booker's. I think Booker's is great. I think it's gotten a lot of bad rap over the last couple years because prices have gone up. When you're talking, usually, well, we'll just call it between 6 and 7-year-old cask strength bourbon. Which, I mean, anymore, if it's still under $100, that's probably a value. But I think people are used to getting Bookers at 60, 70, 80, and then you crept up to the 90s and 100, and people got turned off by it. And I will say the last couple of years have, at $100, have probably been underwhelming. But I definitely think, I mean, if you go back and look, I mean, Bean Biscuits I loved, Pigskin Batch I loved. What was another one? There was another one in there. But I think both, Tag Along I loved. And then I love both of these, both the Lumberyard and the Kentucky Tea. Yeah, we'll see what Pinky's Batch offers. I'd be interested in that story because I don't even know who the hell fucking Pinky is. Probably some lifelong employee or whatever. Oh, I got some deviled eggs I made earlier today. I gotta eat. Alright, so yeah, if you do add it to water, unlike Booker, I don't recommend it. Drink this shit neat. Yeah, that's a wrap. Love you, Bourbon Quest. Yeah, we're coming up on the Advent calendar. Q will be on every day for 25 days, and yeah. Hey, support your local bartenders and restaurants because times are changing, things are changing. I've got some reevaluation to do because this new service model is not adding up and I gotta make more money. So hit that subscribe button. That does the channel a favor. And then do yourself a favor, ring that bell for notifications. That way you don't miss a damn thing here on Bourbon Quest. Leave a comment. Let me know what your struggles are. My struggles right now are with work because my pay has gotten cut. While everything else is going up, you don't want to pay your great bartenders. I don't understand. Alright, we're going to wrap it up. Drink some more Kentucky tea. And cheers, Bourbon Quest. And remember, as always, that my wish for you is that all your Bourbon Quest dreams come true. Haha, that's a wrap, Kentucky tea. Don't mix it with water, it's too good of a whiskey for that. Man, it's smooth. That's a wrap, yo. Haha.